whispering just a little bit because we're gonna tackle some things that I don't want to do first thing in the morning before all my kids wake up. I've got one awake right now. She's just watching her morning cartoons. The others are still sleeping. And sorry, I still have kind of that morning like froggy voice, but it is raining outside today. And I think God just gives me these days as a break from the outdoors. When it rains, it's like He waters all my plants for me and I can focus my energies inside. So today, I'm going to be having a group of women over tonight just for fellowship and connection. And so I wanted to prep a few things. I want to prep a beautiful fruit bowl. And then for my kids this morning, I want to bake some muffins, but I'm going to hack how to do it very easy way, but still somewhat healthy. And I'm going to give them some of the fruit too. So before we do all that, I have a sink full of dishes and I absolutely hate this chore. It is the one thing I hate the most. I put it off constantly. And my husband's amazing and often he will do the dishes for me at night. But we had a long night. The baby was up several times. So I'm gonna do it this morning. I'm letting him sleep in. And I'm here to give you just a little bit of motivation. If you're waking up and your voice is croaky and froggy like me and you're a little bit sleepy and you're facing a dirty kitchen or a sink full of dishes or a pile of laundry, which I have that too, by the way. I have a pile of laundry of the baby's clothes that needs to be folded. We're gonna get those things done and we're gonna prep this surface so that I can do the fun things with my kids, like baking muffins and the fun stuff. So we're gonna basically eat that frog this morning and I want you guys to do it with me. If you're watching this and you have a task that you've been avoiding, maybe it's calling someplace to pay that bill, maybe it's a chore around your house. Think about the one you hate the most, the one you avoid. Maybe it's cleaning toilets, maybe it's doing the dishes, maybe it's going outside and cutting your grass or weeding your lawn. I don't know what your chore is, but in the philosophy of the book, Eat That Frog, I think it was a quote by Mark Twain that said, if I had to eat a frog, I would want to eat it earlier in the day because as you wait, the longer you wait, the bigger it grows. Meaning the longer you put off those tasks that you dread, the more difficult they become and it just builds in our heads, right? So sometimes we just have to like push through and do it. So I'm gonna walk over here to my sink and I actually don't have a ton of dishes, but I'll show you guys what is bothering me about this. So welcome to my sink, friends. These two pans right here are essentially my frog. I would rather do every other dish in that sink than these two pans because we had family over on Friday night. So we are now, my goodness, I think these have been sitting for days. And soaking. We had made homemade pizzas and there was, crusted on stuff that had leaked over from the pizzas and they just looked difficult and hard to scrub. So I put water on them and they've been like soaking for days. I just keep avoiding them. I do other dishes, I put those away, but these pans, they're my frog. So this morning I'm gonna do a very different approach. And even though I have this sink full, I'm gonna move some things over and I'm gonna scrub these first because these are the things that are keeping me from wanting to do all of this. So let's do it together. If you have your frog, feel free to play this in the background while we get some cleaning done. Just open the dishwasher. It is full of dishes. That stinks in the morning too. But we've all had those rough nights where you just couldn't get to those tasks. So I'm gonna unload those first and then I'm gonna tackle these pans. Actually, you know what? I probably shouldn't. I should do the frog first because if I do that first and let's say the baby wakes up, I will never get to those pans. So I'm gonna reverse that. I'm gonna do the frog first. You know how you wanna do all the little things before your frog? I'm gonna take it in, guys, and I'm gonna scrub these pans. Let's do this. Okay, what I was looking for is my little Pampered Chef scraper. This thing is amazing to scrub out pans, so I'm gonna try and use this to scrape them and get them clean. is clean. I have one more to go, and it's actually amazing how when you do a small task like that, it feels kind of energizing. Now I understand your frog might be bigger than cleaning 2 pans, but I would suggest looking at possibilities to break it down into smaller tasks. So, you know, if there's a small part you can do first, just do that first step, because that's the hardest part. So for me, just scraping the ick out of this, like, it's not what I want to touch in the morning. It's not what I want to do. But today we're going to practice doing the hard things that we don't want to do. So are y'all ready? Let's do one more pan. Just like that, pan number 2 is done. And it's amazing, just by getting these 2 pans out of the way, that area is now clear, and I actually feel a lot better about putting the dishes in the dishwasher away. So that's what they say about frogs. When you eat them, it gives you so much momentum on your other daily tasks. It's so silly. Like, this was something that was just hanging over my head, like, oh, it's another thing I don't want to do. So I did it. So now, while I've got this momentum going, I'm gonna unload the dishwasher. I think it'll take me less than like 5 minutes. Get these dishes in, and let's start muffins. Done. I think that was less than 5 minutes. I actually timed it on my video, but I'll show you guys a sped up version. That was so refreshing to get that done fast. And I think, you know, I used it like a little challenge to myself of, you know, my son's gonna be waking up soon. I only have a few minutes.
There's something in your eyes. It holds a big surprise. It made me realize how much I adore you. I'll hold you in my arms. I'll keep you out of harm. I'll always have in charm and love I have for you. You're my crush. Can't you see the way I blush? But I don't wanna rush things with you, my love. You're all I think of.
Good morning.
Julie said from above. Girl,
Good
I
morning.
get butterflies when I look in your eyes. Girl, I get butterflies. Yeah, but then now I get so weak when I hear you speak. Girl, I get so weak. I get butterflies. Oh, I love the way you smile. It's got me going wild. I never imagined having this feeling.
So I would just challenge you today, if you have a frog, I'm not always great at this. Sometimes I put off frogs for weeks. In the case of those pans, I put them off for days. And finally today, my brain said, enough's enough, let's get it done. So let's make some healthy muffins, and I'll share with you guys what I add to this recipe. This is the apple cinnamon quick bread and muffin mix. I'll write that down below in the description of this video. Like I said, it's just from Aldi's. And all I do is I make 2 batches just so I have a lot of muffins on hand. These refrigerate really well to keep throughout the week for breakfast. And I don't know if you're like me in the summer, you just want some quick on-the-go breakfast options so that, you know, if it's a nice day and your kids want to go to the park or something, you can just take that with them. So I dumped 2 bags into my mixing bowl. And that's just so nice to have that part pre-made. I'm just so grateful for that. And for you guys that make things from scratch, you're amazing. Maybe someday I'll get there, but with 4 kids, it's just too much. Baby is currently in high chair, so I gotta get this done while he still has the patience level. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna doctor this just a bit with a little bit of flaxseed. So I have the Bob's Red Mill flaxseed. This is just from Kroger. And I'm gonna add I might actually do 3 tablespoons of flaxseed. Flaxseed will thicken whatever mixture you add it to, so you gotta be careful, it can get kind of too thick. Okay, I'm gonna do 2.5 tablespoons of that. But it's really, really good for your body, your digestion, your gut health, so we're adding that. I'm also gonna add probably about a 1/4 cup of oatmeal, just to give this muffin, again, a little bit more nutrition, we'll make it a little bit more hearty. Okay, I take that back. Because I'm doing 2 mixes, I'm doing 1/2 cup of oatmeal. So there we go. There's some oatmeal for our mix. And then the next parts are the wet ingredients. Those are not too bad. All I've really got to do is put 4 eggs in, and then I have to put, so this would be, 1 box is 1/2 cup of oil. So it would be a whole cup of oil, which I'll admit that's a little bit fattening, but I leave it in just because I still want it to be really tasty for my kids, to hide all this other healthy stuff. You could absolutely replace oil with something else, and maybe someday I'll get there, not yet. So I'm gonna add a 1/2 cup, just double checking my measurements. Yes, it says on the back 1/2 cup. So I'm gonna add 2 of those because I have 2 boxes. And actually this container is almost out. It's a little under the 1/2 cup measure, so that's good enough, it's fine. Okay, now we're gonna do 4 eggs. There's 1. And you can see how with a pre-made mix, how quickly this is coming together. Because I just don't have time to, I don't know, pull out a ton of stuff. So 3 and 4. Okay, I'm gonna run the apple down the shredder like this. And I'll do each side of the apple. Now, doing this will create a lot of juice, and I'm gonna use that juice for the 1/2 cup of water that this recipe calls for. And then I'm also gonna use all of this fibrous pulp from the apple. I'm gonna add all of these shreds. It just adds more fiber for your kids. So the oatmeal, the flaxseed, all of that's just adding in good things. And again, I'm just using a store-bought muffin mix, but I'm hacking it to make it a little bit healthier. Okay, let's go to the last sides. You see mommy making some muffins? Okay. I forgot to add that one of the ways I get extra juice out is this. I take my 1/2 cup measure, set it on the plate, and I take the shreds that I've just done, and I just kind of squeeze out the juice. Wring it out into the cup. Yeah, and there's lots of juice on the plate too that I'll pour in just a second. But just by kind of like squeezing out all that extra juice. Okay, and then you have the fibrous pulp. So again, I'm gonna add that pulp to my muffin mix. good for you. And then I'm gonna carefully pour this plate of juice into my measuring cup. Okay, so it actually produced exactly 1/2 cup, but because I'm double batching, I need another cup. And the recipe normally just calls for water, so I'm just gonna fill my second cup with water. So I've got 1/2 cup of actual apple juice. You could always shred another apple. I'm not gonna do that. I think this was plenty in here, so I'm gonna just add water. My mix, and we're just gonna mix this up. And the last thing I'm gonna do, just because I love nuts and things, obviously if you have an allergy, you could put something else, but I've chopped up some pecans that I had in the freezer. We also have a little bit of leftover blueberries and a few raspberries. So I'm actually gonna throw some fruit into these as well. It will still taste fine with the apple flavor. In fact, it'll enhance it. And we're just gonna have a really healthy, semi-healthy, delicious muffin. And I'm gonna try and not fling all of this outside of the bowl. And because we're playing around with ingredients a little bit, adding some things like oats and flaxseed, if you find that your mix is a little on the dry side, obviously just add a little more water or oil or whatever you think it needs. So for example here, I really thickened this with quite a bit of flaxseed, and it's not as liquidy as I would like it to be. So I'm probably gonna add another 1/2 cup of water. I think that will do the trick to make it a little less consistency like cookie batter, which is very thick, and a little more like muffins. All right, my son was done with his high chair time. He was over it. So I'm gonna let him stand beside me while we fill our muffin cups. Here, let Mama have it. Let me have it. Okay, look, we're gonna stir this in. So I had just put the fruit in the bowl. We're gonna fill these muffin cups. I like to use silicone muffin trays. And the packaging says to bake at 400 degrees for 14 to 17 minutes. Usually when I doctor a muffin mix, I go a lot lower on the time. I will set it for like 12 minutes and then I'll check it. We'll see if yeah, we're gonna put it in here, look. Do you want a spoon to stir? We'll see if they bounce back to the touch. So that's the big key. Here, I'm giving you a spoon. Look, here's a spoon. Look, Elam, here you go. So this 2 boxes will make quite a bit. I might actually be able to fill an extra muffin tin as well. And where did I get this awesome, fun confetti muffin liner? Also at Aldi's. All right, so the muffins are out. They are bouncing back to the touch. They look beautiful. So I ended up doing 16 minutes. I know I originally set it for 12. It took about 16 just because of how full I filled these. But they look gorgeous. Oh my goodness. That's delicious. And a little bit hot. Delicious. So in summary, it's amazing how much you can do if you just tackle those frogs first. I got my muffins made. I'm gonna have breakfast with the kids. They just helped me cut up. We've got a fruit bowl with watermelon and some leftover blueberries to put on there. I'm gonna share that with the ladies tonight. And then while I'm on a roll, I think I'm gonna use the momentum to play with them, but also to tackle a few chores, like go put on a load of laundry, maybe fold the pile of laundry that's in the living room. That's my other frog. So I will get to that today, and I will see you guys soon. Thank you for watching Life in Lilacs. Taste testers, how is it?
Good.
Do you like the muffins?
It tastes like watermelon.
We might have to do something about your hair, Eden.
It's chocolate chips in them.
That's actually a blueberry.
I'll hold you in my